Let's get to the futures pits. Bob Iacchino standing by in Chicago. I don't know what, Bob, do we make any decisions till next Friday when we get that employment report?
No, I don't think so. I think the financial regulation bill news this morning is going to be on everybody's mind. And like you guys were talking about a few minutes ago, without the details, there's not going to be much trade on it at all. You saw a little bit of dip in the futures when the announcement came out, but nothing really to speak of. So I think I tend to agree with you. And that announcement, by the way, next week obviously comes on a shortened market session with the 4th of July holiday. So it might even be the week after that before you see any large moves. But the market's really becoming a technical story. I mean, there's just so much fundamental news. And I just don't see how an investor is supposed to sift through it all and decide what to do with their 401k. It just doesn't, I'm not clear, I guess I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I'm just not clear.
It's tough to see a trend. Everybody's holding their breath because they're worried next week about the private number could be that's why yesterday during the claims number I said, I bet you this is better than people thought, and it was. So I wonder if we go back, sort of regress towards the mean on next Friday's number, and we get something like 100,000. Do you know what the estimate is for private for next week, Bob?
Private's around 120, but it's still, we didn't get the whisper numbers last month until about Wednesday or Thursday, and they slowly started climbing with Vice President Biden being the first one to put out the whisper number, and then from there it just kind of climbed. And so we'll see if that happens, but you won't get anything credible until Tuesday or Wednesday of next week that, in terms of what the traders will be looking for versus what the expectation is.
And Bob, do you get the feeling that there's a bit of a vicious circle going on here? You know, the U.S. markets are down, and that drives offshore markets down, and then because they're down, we're down, and so we're just chasing our tails, essentially. Who's wagging who here?
Well, good morning, Mandy. You know, it's funny you say that, because my first comment about it being a technical market, the last few times I've been on, I've been talking about it being a trader's market. And, you know, we usually talk to sort of the average investor on the show, I'm assuming. And when you talk to somebody like me, I'm talking about short-term and medium-term at the most. And I believe those things are completely technically driven from the U.S. perspective. I do believe the U.S. leads the rest of the globe. We'll find out a little bit more in the G20 meeting as to who's kind of holding sway, I would guess, with the division in the G20 meeting. So it's generally the U.S. that leads. But I think that's changing rapidly in the current climate, especially given the division between Europe and the U.S.
All right, Robert. Thank you. We'll see you again soon. I don't know what to expect. We just go up, we go down. We're getting nowhere, but we need to talk about it.
We're getting nowhere.
I know. All right.